solving one-step equations with multiplying and dividing. So we solved one-step equations with adding and subtracting. These are one-step equations with multiplying and dividing. I still call these level 1 questions because we only have to do one step to solve them. Now, if you just had a box here, if I had 3 times something equals 6, tell me what answer it is. 3 times what is 6? 2. Okay? I still want you to look at questions and see if you can get the answer right away. Okay? I think that's really good for mental math to understand what a question is asking. This is asking 3 times what is 6? And of course, the answer is 3 times 2 is 6. Now, mathematically, as we get more and more complicated, we're going to want to show the steps. And the same idea is true. What you do to one side of the equation, you have to do the other side. Because if they're equal, right? And you do something different to both sides, right? If you two were siblings and your parents went, okay, we're giving you guys money. Here's $10. Here's $100. You'd be mad. Because you'd be like, it should be equal, right? You can't do to one a little bit less than the other, then you're going to cause a fight, right? So same thing with equations. What you do to one side of the equation, you do to the other. Now we want to get this x by itself. And currently, what's happening to the x? It's getting multiplied by 3. What is the opposite of multiplying? Dividing. So if we were going to show our work here, we would show that I'm going to divide this side by 3, and I'm going to divide this side by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so if I have 1x, I can just write that as x, right? Because the 1 out in front you don't have to write. And 6 divided by 3 is 2. And we get the answer of 2, which we already knew was the right answer, right away. Of course, I could do this same question now in one that you wouldn't be able to do nicely in your head. 3 times x equals, and instead of putting 6 there, I'm going to put 8.2. Now, can you do this mental math? Probably not. So in this one, you could just look at it and say, I know the answer is 2. But you can't rely on that because sometimes you're going to get questions like this one, but you're like, I don't know. So what do I have to do? I have to divide both sides by 3 because that's the opposite of multiplying by 3. That gets my x by itself. And I would have to go to my calculator and do 8.2 divided by 3. Like, oh yeah, I would have never have guessed 2.73 repeating was my answer. So in basic questions, you can see the answer sometimes just by looking at it. But if we don't have the mathematical steps, once the questions get a little bit more complicated, we still need to be able to do this. And if somebody said, hey, 3 times something is 8.2, your brain might go, okay, well, I'd have to divide 8.2 by 3 to figure out what it would be, and you'd realize that step right away.
¿Cuál es la forma más simple de hacerlo?
This is the simplest way to do what you do to one side, you do to the other side, and then get your answer.
No more.
No more than that. Again, some of these you might see the answer to, but we're going to get really good at, I want to get the a by itself. Right now that a is getting multiplied by 2. What's the opposite of multiplying by 2?
10.
Opposite of multiplying by 2? Divide by 2. Divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 is a is equal to 4. Not just any 4,
It's 10.
a negative 4. This is multiplying. 2 times something is 8.
Yo pensé que era negativo.
2 times negative 4 is negative 8. And you can check it after by typing it into your calculator. This R is getting multiplied by 11.
Puede ser el total.
Because it's multiplying.
¿Cómo puedo saber que está multiplicando?
How do we know that one's multiplying is the question. What's your name? No.
Would you take it when it says approximately about 75?
Their line.
You can't even see it, you're in the front.
And they haven't shown have they shown any work on here?
You can simplify it.
No, I'm just gonna,
No.
I'm just gonna start it.
Like if you draw the
Well, I
line
can
straight
do it,
across,
I got it
70
right.
is quite a bit off, right?
I can start with them.
So no.
They just don't want those, that's it.
Well, why are you bringing both then?
I'm gonna show his work. Comes up.
Just.
Had he shown his work and the line went crooked,
I don't know.
then I'd probably take off half mark for being.
Oh, I have black stuff on my phone.
Wait, this is multiplying. Opposite of multiplying, divide both sides by 11, and we get R is equal to 2. So in equation solving, to get something by itself, you always sort of have to think, well, I have to undo things. If it's 3 times x, undoing it would be dividing by 3. And what you do to one side, you do to the other side. So here is, I'll erase them. Oh, maybe I should have, yeah, I can erase them and then undo that. 3 for you to try on your own. And I'll put up the answers in a second. What'd you do?
No, I can break it.
Don't break it.
I'm not. They were bending, they bent up and down. It's okay, I'll fix it.
Looks like it's a little bit.
Can't I just solder it back together?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh, wow.
It's okay though, I'm gonna new camera.
Okay.
Wait, so how would we put it into like the calculator? So we would just like write the equation out.
Yeah, so I'm going to put up the answers here. There they are. Opposite of multiplying is dividing. What you would do in your calculator for this first one, you'd say, well, I have 12 divided by 6. Push enter. X is 2. That's what it comes up as.
Okay.
And then if I want to see if I was right, I go in the original equation, I replace the x with the 2. The original equation was 6 times x. So I'm going to check, is 6 times 2 12? Yes. So that's how I can check things and see if I'm right. So first, we undid things with adding and subtracting. Now, how do you undo multiplication? You divide. Okay, next. We have questions that have the x is right now divided by 2 and it's equal to 2. Can you look at this one? Something divided by 2 is equal to 2. What? It's going to be 4. So sometimes you can just look at it and say, I know what the answer is. If we want to show the mathematics, what's the opposite of dividing by 2? Timesing by 2. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this side and I'm going to times it by 2. I'm just going to use the dot for timesing. And then, because you did the opposite, that will simplify and become 1. Getting my x all by itself. On this side, what do I have? I have 2 times 2. That's equal to 4. So we saw the answer just by looking at it. But we could also undo it. Okay?
I hate it. There was a lot of questions, by the way,
Okay.
like I was swamped.
Good to hear this.
Yeah.
Something divided by 3 is 9. So if you know your times table really well, you might be able to figure that out. 3 divided by 3 is not 9.
Oh.
Something divided by 3 is 9.
27.
27. Now, if you don't see it, what's the opposite of dividing by 3? Multiply by 3. So I'm going to multiply this side by 3, multiply this side by 3. By multiplying both sides by 3, 3 divided by 3 is 1. And so this side will be left with just 1p. On the other side, I have 9 times 3. And you could go to your calculator, or if you know your times table, 9 times 3,
6.
27.
Porque bestia.
Multiplicar 9 por 3. Okay. Sometimes it gets tricky when you get into the negatives, right? Something divided by 3 is negative 7. So either you can see it right away, or what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to say, well, what's the opposite of dividing by 3? I'm going to multiply this side by 3. I'm going to multiply this side by 3. 3 divided by 3, that'll cancel that out and just give you 1x. Go to your calculator. Negative 7 times 3. A negative times a positive is a negative. And it's going to be 21. Okay, 3 for you to try on your own. These 3. Oh, I'm going to quickly erase them. And I'll put up the answers in a second. Let's see how you did. Using your calculator, did you get those answers?
You wrote it in. You wrote it in. Scratch.
Oh, yeah.
What's your answer?
Bestia. Creo que de todos ese es más fácil.
What did you do?
This is easy. Okay, check your answers. How did you do? Did you get all those?
Yeah.
Except for this one.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're showing this work though. This work on the top where I multiply by 5. That's the practice that gets you into the mode of what you do to one side, you do to the other side. And we always have to do the opposite of something to get rid of it. Question?
Is here like words like negative plus negative equals plus? Yeah.
No, a negative times a negative is a positive number. A negative number plus a negative number will be always a negative number.
More negative. It's like saying I
I
have.
have negative and I want to add more negative.
When I add more.
I'm going to be super negative as a result.
I think it's attractive as combine or cancel. If they're the same signs, you combine them, if they don't, you
Like
cancel.
if you put more stuff on
A
a credit card,
positive
then
cancels
money
out the
goes
negative.
more in debt. Like you have, like if you put money, like if you take money from a credit card and then you don't pay it, then you're more in debt.
More
Or
negative.
you put more, you put more
Everyone
on
did the same
I
thing.
more in debt.
Most did the same thing.
Okay, now we get to decimals. Decimals usually is not something you can easily do in your head, so you'll want to use a calculator here. And we have to think about opposites. So this first one, 2 times something is 8.4. Opposite of multiplying by 2? This one I'd have to do the opposite, I'd have to divide. I'd go to my calculator, I'd do 8.4 divided by 2. And I would get 4.2. Here I'm multiplying. Opposite of multiplying? Dividing. So I divide this side by 3, but if I do that to one side, I do this side by 3. The 3's, 3 divided by 3 is just 1. So that leaves this side to be m. So the reason we do the opposite is so that it cancels itself out, leaving you just with 1. And what do we get when we get negative 6.3 divided by 3?
Pues here guess an opposite.
Opposite?
Yeah.
Opuesto.
Okay?
Opuesto.
What?
Opuesto.
No.
Yes.
I have a question.
Mhm. So if you go to where's 80 meters squared? There you go, you drew a line across, then you went down. There's your answer.
Exactly.
It's just about there. Come here.
Isn't Drake at like 10:45?
You're not gonna be able to handle
That's like 30.
that? Can you wait?
Wait, yeah.
Wait till there. You might have to extend your line. I don't know. Okay. Here we go. The opposite of multiplying by 1.6 would be dividing by 1.6. Go to your calculator. 4.8 divided by 1.6. And you get 3.
Pues here.
Mm-hmm.
¿Cómo podemos saber la calculadora cómo se hace?
On the calculator, you wrote 4.8 divided by 1.6, so I take out my calculator and I would do 4.8 divided by 1.6, push enter, and I get 3.
Oh.
Alright, here's the next 3 with decimals. Right now, what's happening to the m? The m is divided by 1.5. Opposite of dividing by 1.5?
What'd you say?
What's the opposite of dividing by 1.5? Timesing by 1.5. So I multiply this side by 1.5, and I multiply this side by 1.5.
Huh? What'd you say?
I can look around and I can see if somebody's eyes are like a little bit zoned out.
He did the playbook, the
Wait,
Sure.
here.
caught the unfocused one.
It's it.
It's 6. Excellent. Second one. Opposite of dividing by 5? Nathan? Multiplying by 5. So we're going to multiply this side by 5. We multiply this side by 5. That would leave you just because you did the opposite, so you're just left with C. And then you go to your calculator. What is 2.4 times by 5? 12. There we go. And finally, we're multiplying by 2. We're dividing by 2.5, so the opposite would be to multiply by 2.5 on this side, multiply by 2.5 on this side. And negative 2.5 times 2.5 will give you negative 6.25. Next 6 are for you to try on your own. I'll put up the answers in a bit.
Yeah.
This is there.
Just 1 second, I got Brody's, you missed worksheet number 1, this one you have to do and hand in.
If they don't, it says here is to create the table and they
Right.
What if they keep, I've been given 1 if they make the table, but then 45.
Yeah.
So minus 1 here.
Okay.
And then if they don't, I don't know what they were trying to do here, but if they don't put the equation,
The equation, they're missing that one.
minus 1, no.
Yeah.
Tengo 604.
All right, let's check how you did.
604. Yeah. 4. 4.
Oh, here, undo. What is the opposite of timesing by 2?
3.54.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
So you can check your answers for those first 3. I'll put up the answers for the next 3 in a second. Always doing the opposite. So if you're multiplying, the opposite is dividing. If you're dividing, the opposite is multiplying. If you're adding, the opposite is subtracting. And if you're subtracting, the opposite is adding.
Sure. How's me Igor doing? A lot of people struggle on this one.
Bro, like 70 is
So
good.
here, I
70.
took my
That'd be,
1 is 6.
yeah, that'd be
It's
good.
got 1, 2,
Mhm.
3, 4,
Trust
5,
me.
6, which
Right.
is weird because
That'd be
then it should be
good.
7, but it's
Maybe 60.
1, 2, 3,
Because
4,
I'm
5,
done.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now it's just,
All the lines,
but I
okay.
didn't explain to do the
Ask
ins,
more.
but
So that's what they're
could it be a
doing.
0.5 out of
Okay.
1 there?
Yeah, so they misinterpreted the question, but they do have a table. Actually, you can give them a 1 out of 2 because then if this formula came out as 6
Mark off if you're like wrong
F
by
equals
one
6.
number, not even
Or 1 times
1 times 6, 2 times 6, 3 times 6.
1 times 1 plus 6
You go right.
would be 7 though.
Yeah, this isn't the right formula. So they get 1 out of 3 on the whole.
Yeah, thought so.
Mr. Darrow, not sorry to overhear, but like, we have to cut the squares, not the lines and numbers.
ask
No, that one you're supposed to add up the area. It says
Squares.
how many squares would be the area. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm just making sure I didn't get it wrong.
Okay, let's check this next one.
Like all of it?
No.
Opposite of dividing by 2.5. Multiply by 2.5. Easy. Get 15. Opposite of dividing by 2. Multiply by 2. Checking my mental math. Uh-oh. I don't know about this next one. Opposite of
oh yeah.
That's 4 digits.
No, we have I remember.
Yes,
Alright, let's see if I can get this one.
Let's see how good Mr. J.R.'s mental math is.
I'm so easy, bro.
I know, I'm working on it.
2 digits or decimal?
Right? I'm working on it. Is it
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
That's good. Good mental math.
22.75.
I thought you were gonna get it wrong for a second, that was really funny.
Oh, and I did get it wrong. Does anybody see what I did wrong? I forgot the negative.
Wow, Mr. Darrow.
I was so busy thinking about the numbers, I forgot the negative. All right,
You get a 0.
I get a 0. We're gonna leave part 3.